It is very unusual for a college our size to have an agriculture program at all, and the farm makes it even more distinctive. There are about 10 independent colleges that have agriculture programs in the country. Our farm is probably the most diversified, or one of the two most diversified farms in that group. We maintain this diversified farm with a number of different types of livestock. I think perhaps the most unique aspect of this farm is the participation of our students in the management of this farm. Only 2% of the population lives on farms, and so a very small percentage actually have farm experience when they go to agricultural college. By the time they leave Berea, they have the opportunity to have gained real farm experience in the real world, and that is unique, and it's served our students very, very well over the years. They are sought after, they understand the real world, and that helps them to deal with farmers, that helps them to farm or do whatever occupation they choose within agriculture and natural resources.
You do more when you get to work on the farm. If you're just an ag student and say you work somewhere else on campus, you won't get as many of the experiences and quite as much knowledge as the people that are out here every day. Sometimes when you come out here, you don't realize what goes along with everything. In other cases, it'll drive you towards what you want to do. You can really fall in love with helping take care of the animals or doing crop work. It really does help determine where a person wants to go with their life. I think working on the farm is definitely beneficial to our major. It gives us a lot of experience, allows us to do things that many other students at other schools can't do. Every day we have to come out and feed, water, no matter if it's a holiday or anything. You just get to learn a lot and have a lot of experience and a lot of fun too.
The main part of the farm is here at Hunt Acres. We've got about 300 acres here, and this is where the beef herd and the livestock are generally located, because this is where our pasture land is. We've got about 600 acres of land. Around 200 acres of that is pasture land, and we have 80 beef cows with their calves and 2 bulls for the beef herd. We have about 30 sows and that produce about 400 pigs a year, and 40 ewes, and a ram, of course, for the sheep herd flock, and we've got about 20 nanny goats. Grow a number of different crops. We grow corn, soybeans, wheat, rye, and various hay crops that all of which we, except for the soybeans, all of which we feed to our livestock. The farm really was an outgrowth of the land that the college held. In 1869, the college had about 400 acres of land. And long into the 1890s, there was some concern over renting all that land out and then buying produce from Cincinnati. So there was an effort made to try to produce food for the college using the land and using student labor to do so. That grew, and along about 1912, the new extension program was started, which is really a national program, but Berea provided an office for that extension agent. The purpose of the extension agent was to help educate farmers and to bring new technology out to the field to help those folks. It fit very well with Berea's mission of serving the people in the mountains, and so they found a good home and a good match with the extension service. We used to have a bakery, so we'd produce grain, and we produced milk. There was a creamery, produced a lot of meat for the college, and in the 20s, over 20,000 gallons of fruits and vegetables were canned for use by the dining services. We have ceased to produce for the college as much. We're getting back to a little bit of that now. We will be providing greens for food service, so we're going to try to get a little bit more sustainable and get a little bit of our food production closer to home. The greenhouse is really part of the whole farming operation. It's just a horticultural phase, and its physical location is separate from the farm, so people tend to think of it as being distinct. So we're very connected, and in a larger university it would be a separate department. Berea is somewhat unique in our program being all under one roof.
What we're doing out here is just the more sustainable and organic side of things, and our focus is to provide organic and sustainable plants, and to have an example here about how different plants affect our community and things that we should be putting in our body, even with houseplants. Since my freshman year, I've kind of been the kind of compost coordinator, and besides that, I mean, a lot of my experience is just learning about vegetables, learning about trees, mushrooms, greenhouse management. So, I mean, my experience here has been very varied.
For the last 2 semesters, I've been in charge of the lettuce sales. So I basically was kind of the liaison between the gardens and greenhouse and the faculty on campus and the local businesses that buy our product. Then, that same last fall, I also took a class called Bees and Beekeeping. We have 16 hives down here at the gardens and greenhouse, and so starting this spring, I moved more into taking care of the bees, and in the fall, that will be my focuses. I think we have approximately 15 acres in total, but probably only 2 to 3 acres are in production. And we have a fairly large apple orchard that's very young, but we'll probably started producing apples last year, and we'll probably be producing quite a few in the future. We've got a nut tree orchard that just got planted a couple of years ago, and we also provide space for local community to garden, and that really helps people gain that connection. And think year we'll be becoming USDA organic certified, so that everything that we put out will be organic.
The Berea farm has, in connecting back to the extension function that we had, is to serve as an example for producers in the Appalachian region. Most farms in Appalachia are small scale, and so we try to keep things at that level and not become a corporate farm, because that does not serve as a good example for many of the farms in this region. We've trained a lot of students who wind up going out into the community as extension agents. A lot of our students gravitate toward that profession, and so they wind up working with farmers in the region as well. In general, we feel like we're doing a good service for the community that way.
Hopefully here shortly I'll graduate and go on to veterinarian school, where I will be a large animal vet, and being able to deal with the animals out here every day has definitely helped me realize that that's what I want to do.
I do think I'm going to take away something very significant from working here. Getting a chance to work hands-on with honeybees right now is a major interest in my life, and there's a good possibility that I will pursue a graduate study in bees. But I have gained through working here and have learned some of the different opportunities that I can get into with beekeeping, including government jobs, being state beehive inspectors and things like that. So there's a good chance that I will continue with this in my future.
The farm is definitely a good experience. It helps the students out a lot with being able to take what you learn in the classroom and truly apply it and see how it works. And out here you run into problems that, you know, are just spur of the moment and you have to deal with them. So it really gets you prepared for what happens when you graduate and you're out trying to run your own farm or help somebody else farm. It's definitely worthwhile to have the farm and to get the opportunity to work out here.